So Tim Miller, what'd you bring us here?
So this is a special truck to me. It's been in my family for 56 years. My
Wow.
dad bought it brand new and I learned how to drive in this truck. I actually drove this truck when I worked at his construction company. It was my work truck. So when my dad retired, moved back to Oklahoma, where we're from, he took this truck, got rid of all the other ones, and with his intentions to restore it. When he passed away many years ago, my mother gave the rusted truck to a neighbor who it changed hands about 5 times. Got a call from my brother, said, hey, we found Dad's truck. And I said, well, how do you know it's really Dad's truck? It's 58, white truck with rust on it. Opened up the glove box and it still had the original California pink slip that my dad had signed, but it also had my last time card in it. So we brought it out here and restored it.
This thing's been modified a little bit since your dad last took it to work.
Well, the fun thing about this, Adam, is this is 25 years ago when I restored this truck.
Wow.
And so if you think back to 25 years ago, you couldn't just go in and hit the mouse and, Summit Racing or somebody would send you lots of parts.
Right.
So I actually had to buy another car to make this. I called a friend of mine, a Chevrolet dealer, and this truck has an LT1 in it because 25 years ago, that was all the rage.
Yeah.
So he happened to have in the back a brand new, less than 100-mile Corvette that some wealthy fool gave to a 16-year-old kid.
Yeah.
And the kid rolled it off of a freeway on-ramp.
Wow.
Luckily, he didn't get hurt, just his old man's insurance
More
premium.
importantly, the engine was all right.
Everything was all right,
right.
but back then, remember you had a computer that worked off of a closed loop system. So we had an LT1 motor, but you also had to have the steering column because
Right.
it plugged in at the steering column. So this has the Corvette engine, transmission, rear end, and I have since changed out when technology caught up. I changed out the computer and I put in a modern steering
I
column.
wonder how many, back in the day, everything was built on a Volkswagen, every modified, everything, every kid car started off as a Volkswagen.
Right.
And I thought, what a great business for Volkswagen that they half the stuff. But it seems like everybody we talk to is a crate motor, GM, always Corvette, everything. I wonder how big a part Corvette's business is of just the business of what's going on underneath the car that's not a Corvette.
There's a lot of naked Corvettes out there too, right?
Yes.
Because before there were these crate engines, you'd have to pick a donor car and pick it apart like this.
Yeah, I think to answer your question, I think it's huge. GM, Ford, all the guys have done a great job about serving the aftermarket. Remember this is 25 years ago, half of the companies that are in aftermarket now didn't even exist back then. So we set the LT1 down low like a Corvette so the center of gravity is pretty low. But as you can see, this is first gen technology from a long time ago. And I prefer to actually keep it that way.
Normally the motor's shoehorned into the engine bay.
Yeah, there's plenty of room in there.
Oh yeah, you want to smuggle something from Mexico, they never check the engine bay. They're always
That's right.
looking in the trunk.
Yeah, we've got
somebody in there.
Sanderson headers on it, and we pumped it up a little bit. The truck is definitely not underpowered.
And I noticed the gauge cluster looking pretty modern for something that's 25 years old.
Yeah, if I did it today, I would do something other than digital, but that was a hot setup back then.
And I don't know if that's teak or
It is
mahogany.
teak.
It looks amazing, the bed of the truck. There's something about the wood and the metal. I guess it's why Woodies are so great looking and why those Chris Craft boats are so great looking. There's something about the wood coming together with the metal.
Right.
That's just amazing. Oh, it's just and it says Dad's 58 on the custom vanity plate.
It's probably the one car I would never get rid of.
Right.
Yeah, well, you got 130 you can deal if you have to. In a pinch, if the wheels come off the wagon, Tim, you can. There's always 129 others you can sell before this one. All right, you guys will move in. We'll do a little closer inspection of the car. SurfCityGarage.com.
Right.
Is where you go. Get the products. Get the signed copy, hardcover of the book. And this is really one of those things where Tim's not making any money. I'm not making any money. It's just you're getting a book because you're a fan, you're a customer, you're an enthusiast. It's break even all the way around. So SurfCityGarage.com. And until next time, this is Adam for Tim and Matt saying keep the air in the spare and the bag in the wheel.